All right, let's go over synergy, defining the proprietary card file options. First, we have enable the proprietary card file. So you got to turn that on to be able to add cards locally to DXFleet. PCF is defining, how you'd like to use the system. Do you want to use a single entry system or a dual entry system? Single is just one card to authorize the transaction. So this is just a label system here. Do you want to label the cards as driver? Do you want to label them as a vehicle? Or do you want to have an option of selecting driver or vehicle when you create a card? Again, these are just single cards, so only one card is required to fuel. Dual entry is you're using a driver card and a vehicle card, and we need to select the various types of how do we want the site to function. So here, non-restricted means that anybody from any account can cross fuel. The fuel site controller doesn't know the account. And so you are saying, I'm not going to restrict anybody by account. And you would just select this box, and then you have to define what account do you want the transaction to be associated with. So do you want it to import the transaction to the driver's account or to the vehicle's account? So when you select this, you are defining, I would like it to be this, or I'd like it to be. Driver vehicle tracking restricted means that it's expecting the use of linked driver and vehicles being in the same account. And if they're not, they're going to be restricted. And then most restricted just means there's no cross fueling in unlinked accounts. So, if account 1000 can't fuel something in account 2000, that's not allowed. So this would be the most restricted option. Down here, we have allow use of single entry records under dual entry system. So that allows you to use all three card types. So we have driver cards, vehicle cards, and you could use single cards on top of that. So you could have one single card that authorizes for, say, a manager that just wants his own card, or you can have the driver and vehicle combination for other users that need to fuel. So this just allows you to use all three. Enable FSC accounts. So that would be turning on the fuel site controllers, in this case, Synergy controllers account options for account restrictions. That is not available up here when we have the non-restricted option, because this one turns off that by default. If we were to use one of these, we have options to turn on account controls. So that means that you are defining the card's restriction based on the account and not necessarily the individual card, although, you can have a combination of both. This is just allowing you to use the FSC accounts for those restrictions. So if you had a restriction that you wanted for all of your cards in a certain account, you could use this FSC account restriction. Down here, security code, that's our old school PIN number. So you have options to invalidate after a certain number of bad entries, spend the card for so many minutes after so many bad entries, and that's just going to act like a PIN number. They're going to enter that number, and then if they enter the wrong number, you can define how many times they can do that, or if they're going to get locked out for a certain period of time. Expiration date, do you want the cards to expire? Days of the week fueling, so those kind of things are going to be, does your site only operate Monday through Friday and you want nobody to be able to fuel outside of that? You can define those date and times that they're allowed to fuel. Over here, we just have some options. Tiered pricing, if you have that enabled. Number of transactions per day, product and quantity restriction, standard prompts like, do you want your cards to have an odometer entry or a miscellaneous entry request? So those are going to just be standard prompts. They're just going to prompt for that number. You're going to be able to enter that number. It's not going to compare it to anything. It's just going to be a standard prompt. The extended prompt gives you the ability to do things like use odometer reasonability, which will compare the odometer value to the last known odometer value and a predefined range of odometer ranges. To say if it's reasonable or not based on what you've configured that card for. And then use department number prompt to allow a validated driver entry of the account to bill/track fuel against. So that's just another extended prompt option that's available on the Synergy controller. And there's a little toggle here that gives you more information on that. So that's how you would go ahead and configure. You basically turn on the option. for proprietary card, select the type of system you'd like, enable any sort of account tracking that you need, any sort of pen, and your product restriction option. And then you can start working on creating your cards if you save those options.